Good afternoon to the citizens of St. Bernard Parish. It is January 13th, 2022. So I wanted to make sure that I came to the citizens of St. Bernard Parish with an explanation of what's been going on with this PBF, Chalmette Refining / Collins Pipeline diesel leak right here in St. Bernard Parish. Like we always do, federal, state, and local agencies are notified immediately when there is a spill, whether it is in the location where it's at or all the way out to the Chandelier Islands and so forth. We get these reports on a regular basis, and usually there is no impact to the citizenry, and therefore there's really nothing on our end other than monitoring and making sure there is no impact to the citizenry, that these spills are cleaned up. So what happened on December 27th, we obviously had a spill. Everyone was notified immediately, and we were notified on the 28th of December. All of the elected officials here at parish government and all of the federal, state, and local agencies. Immediately, we contacted PBF, and when I spoke to them, crews were on site. The pipeline was cut off, and all of the cleanup had already begun. And what was good in this case was that all of the diesel went into a pond, and I'll get into that a little bit later, right? But it was contained. The owner of the land was notified. PBF was on site. Their cleanup crew, which is a local crew, was on site, and there was no continuing danger to the citizenry of St. Bernard Parish. So we decided not to put out anything public to the citizens because there was no need to on our end, is what we felt like. But we figured PBF would be putting something out to the public. So I just want to say, in hindsight, and what we're going to do from here on out going forward, is we're going to put that information out to the public, regardless of where the spills are, regardless of whether or not it had impact to the citizenry. We feel like you should know. So we're going to correct that mistake in the future. But as we sit here today, I want to let you know what we learned today about the site, about what happened, and moving forward, if there are any questions, feel free to call parish government and direct your questions to me, and if I don't know the answer, I can get it for you. The site is a pipeline that goes through Chalmette, and it goes under or through the wall, our Hystrus system at the Mississippi River Gulf Outlet. It's probably about a quarter of a mile toward Hopedale from where the wall turns and goes into, goes across the Mississippi River Gulf Outlet. So if you Google it and you're looking at it, you could see the pipeline where it goes all the way toward Chalmette, and it goes across our wall. So that's where the site was. And that's the 22 feet of pipeline that they had found about a year and a half ago that was corroded, that needed to be fixed. So just to let y'all know about that little part of it, the company started the permit process when they found out that it was corroded. And it's been taking them that long to get a permit to fix that site because of the Hystrus system, or the Mississippi River Gulf Outlet, the Great Wall of St. Bernard, I should say, right? There were some problems there because this site runs up to the foot of that levee. So there were some concerns there in the permitting process and how they were to fix this pipe. So I learned that today. That was a little piece of information that I think the public needs to know. So what happened was there was a break in that section of pipe, and automatically It's a SCADA system that runs these pipelines, and there's about 1,500 PSI going through there, or maybe a little bit less than that, they were saying today. And what happens is when that pressure drops, it automatically shuts that pipeline down. So that's what happened in this situation. There was still, when that happened, there was still 300,000 gallons of diesel that shot up in the air at the site. Now remember, it's right at the foot of the levee. It's well away from any populated area, you know, a few miles. And what happened was that diesel hit the ground and it went into two ponding areas on each side of the pipeline. And what they're figuring is somewhere between 60 and 70% in one, and somewhere between 40 and 30 in the other ponding area, which contained this diesel in that area, which was helpful to the cleanup crew because diesel just floats on top of the water. So they get there, they assess the break in the pipe, they start talking to all of the regulatory agencies immediately about fixing it. They couldn't dig it all up because of the levee. They had to fix it in 10-foot increments. They fixed, I believe it was about 40 foot of pipe there. That was done. All the while they're cleaning the site and picking up the diesel. Booms were put out to protect other areas. Louisiana Department of Wildlife came in and started taking animals and treating them and releasing them at Bayou Sauvage. They took all of the animals that were killed during this event, and they have all of that recorded. The numbers are something that we don't really know, but you know, there was about 100 animals killed. There was about 100 animals that lived through it, and that they're taking care of all of those animals. Just to let you know that the Louisiana Department of Wildlife, PBF, the cleanup crews, they are all very cooperative with one another, and everyone has good things to say about everybody in this process and the cleanup. And I just have to say, being out there today at this site, you really would never know to the blind eye from somebody like me walking by that anything even happened at that site. It's incredible the amount of work that they did in the last 2 weeks to get it to where it's at. So that's what's been going on. A lot of the animals are being released in other areas because we don't want animals to be hunted and cooked and eaten because they're contaminated. All of those numbers will be coming out shortly. But just know that that site is secure. They still have a long-term cleanup plan there. They are permitting a grid. And what they'll do is they'll take the site where all of the diesel was found, and they're going to take soil borings, and they're going to go out from that until they don't get to diesel anymore. And they're going to do a three-dimensional grid of the whole site, and that will be reported to all of the regulatory agencies, obviously to the landowner, and they're going to scrape all of that up and go as deep as they need to go, and they're going to fill it with clean dirt, if you will. So I believe that everyone who is supposed to be doing something in the protocols of this event is doing everything that they have to do. PBF has been out there making sure that this has as little impact to our community, to the environment as possible. Ampol is the company that's out there doing the cleanup. It's a local company. They're doing a great job, and all of the state and federal regulatory agencies are making sure that everything is done in the right way. So we wanted to make sure that we came out and just let you know all of those facts, because a lot of them aren't coming out to you from PBF or Collins Pipeline for whatever reasons. There are a lot of legal ramifications, I guess. But in hindsight, I think St. Bernard Parish government would, with whatever information that we have, when we get it, large or small spills from here on going forward, the public will be notified immediately as we get notified. So, and look, really the only reason that we asked PBF to put out a statement for us so that we can notify the public of it was because we were getting complaints of the air cannons. And the air cannons are being used to, they blow off these cannons and they're very loud. And it's used to keep the birds and the animals away from that area so that they don't get contaminated. So the more that they clean up, the less they're going to shoot the cannons off, and the closer we get to being normal. So, it's one of those things where the public's notified because you complained about noise. And we asked PBF to put out a statement, and what we did was copy that statement and put it out there because we felt like you should know where that noise was coming from. So all of the agencies started calling the AP, and all of the local news stations were calling. So there it is. It's out there. That you know exactly what we know. We've been out there pretty much all day today. I feel very comfortable for our citizens in the Chalmette area with this oil spill, diesel spill, we should say. The cleanup crews are doing awesome. PBF and Collins Pipeline are doing everything they can, obviously, to make this right. And if you have any questions, please send them in to St. Bernard Parish Government or give me a call. I'm here at the office, and we will have more information if we get it. So God bless each and every one of you, and thank you.